Hello and welcome to Backroads on my XT. Welcome back to Backroads on my XT. Today we're going to take a look at my 2001 XT225. We're going to look at the carburetor, some things to look out for if you don't know what you don't know and you're going to look at buying one. We'll show you some things on that. Here we're on the right hand side. We're going to do a close-up. Here's the carburetor here. Here's a manifold. It's a hard rubber manifold. You want to make sure there's no cracks in it. There's a brass fitting underneath here. You want to make sure it's capped off or plugged. Nothing runs off of that fitting. It's a big mystery why they even designed it that way. And we have this black plastic cover here, 3 screws on it. That is part of the air cutoff system, otherwise known as the choke. You want to make sure there's no cracks in it. And you have a tube that runs from the bottom all the way to the top. You want to make sure there's no cracks in it. When I first got this, the top of this tube was cracked off and it looked perfectly normal. You couldn't even tell it was broke. It took me a while to figure out what was wrong with it. We have a hose here, vent hose, pretty big hose, runs through the loop here and then out the back. If you notice, all the vent lines and drain lines run through this loop out here and out the back, okay? So we have a couple other questions. There's a hole here, that's normal, nothing goes in there. And we have a hole right here, that's normal, nothing goes in there, okay? So this is the right hand side of the carburetor. We're gonna go around and look at the left hand side. We're gonna look at 5 hoses. 4 of them are on the carburetor. The first hose we're gonna look at, we're gonna go from the bottom. This is the drain hose, the bowl drain hose. You can see it runs out through the loops and out the back over here. You can see it. And then this is the drain screw, the bowl drain screw. So that's another popular item, questionable. And then hose number 2 is right here. This is the fuel line. This is where fuel goes into the carburetor. There's a brass piece underneath here and the fuel line slips over it. This fuel line, I've got it looped around through a filter and to the petcock. So that's hose number 2, okay? Hose number 3 normally is on a black plastic elbow. My black plastic elbow is broken, so I pulled it off. There's a brass piece underneath here. I slipped the hose over the brass piece and zip tied it in place. And again, this is a drain line, vent line, and it runs down through the loops, you can see, down through the back, okay? Hose number 4, another drain vent line, pretty big hose, comes out the top, again, goes down through the loops, down the back to drain. And then the 5th hose I'm going to talk about, mid-2000 and up, they vented the crankcase out the cam cover. You can see this hose here, cam cover, and it goes right into the air box right there. And when the piston goes up and down, a lot of air goes in and out and it mists the oil. A lot of oil comes through here and will build up in the bottom of this air box. You can see some oil right there. So if you have a lot of oil dripping here, either putting too much oil in it or you have a lot of blow by. So that's another thing to look at. And it will drip on here and drip down and get on everything. Okay, so that's what I got for you today. Thanks for watching. You guys have a safe ride out there. Be good.